Wow. After a few technical difficulties, we are online.
Welcome, everybody, to the Paparazzi Podcast. Happy New Year!
Happy New Year. Cheers.
Cheers. I've not got anything to cheers with, so I will just say cheers.
That's okay. That's okay.
Lots to get to, huh? Lots to get to.
Lots to get into. I have so many notes. I have so many things to talk about. I have so much stuff. It's been way too long. Um,
It has.
but I will start with the biggest news of the day.
Yes, I want to get into
No,
this.
no, not Nick Reiner's attorney backing out and stepping down. No, not the fact that he said that Nick Reiner is innocent. That is not the biggest news of the day. Not even the fact that it's the 1 year anniversary of the fires, the LA fires from last year. But news of the day, Jedi, our good friend,
Yes,
friend of the show, friend of our friends of our friends of our friends, Spencer Pratt is running for LA mayor.
I was going to ask you, are we endorsing him?
We're going to
Are
enjoy
we
it.
giving him the PPC endorsement?
Of course we are.
I
Because
thought we might be.
because if Karen Bass can be mayor, my dog can be mayor.
Well, if Donald Trump can be president, Spencer Pratt can be mayor of LA, right?
Exactly. Like there's no rules. If Kanye West could run for president, Spencer Pratt could run for mayor. I mean, obviously, and I'm not saying Spencer Pratt's a dumb shit like Karen Bass or anything like that. I'm just saying that it's all up for grabs now.
Do you think Spencer has a chance?
Well, if Rick Caruso runs, probably not.
Yeah. I mean, have any other candidates come out and said, "Hey, I want to run. I'm running as well." And
I
when
mean,
when is the mayoral election?
honestly, I think it's next year or
Hmm.
something like that. Yeah, I know it's not soon, I don't think. But yeah, today I went to the You Let Us Burn protest rally in Pacific Palisades where all the victims that blame the city and blame everybody else for letting them all down gathered and
Yeah.
said their piece and cheered on everybody who said their piece. And Spencer came on and dropped that that piece of bomb on us at the end of his speech. I mean, it was a
Wow.
good speech. He looked a little nervous up there talking in front of everybody. He's usually behind a camera. He's usually, doesn't have a huge crowd up there. Heidi went on before him. She was insane. She was great.
Really? Did she
And then
sing?
she did not sing, but she had a great speech. She seemed very comfortable on stage and kind of, you know, preluded her husband and kind of introduced him. And when you look back on his announcement, the way she talked about her husband being so hands-on and so involved in the community and so, into the cause, and you see why, and it was a great way they did it. So whoever thought of the way, if they did it, whatever, but the way she came on, she hyped him up, and then he came on, said his speech. I mean, he was reading it off of a phone the whole time, looking down
Yeah.
at his phone, but I don't care.
No.
You don't need to be a great speaker, in front of everybody. You just need to know what you're talking about. You need to have some passion.
And he does. He knows his shit. He has the passion. He was on the front lines, like fully affected by this, and has preached about Newsom and Bass since day one.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll bring up some pictures here from today doing this. Uh, let me see here. Here is Spencer in front of the crowd giving his
There he
speech.
is.
Uh, there's one picture here of everybody just kind of cheering right after he said he's running for mayor. And you know what? I mean, because I started. I started hearing it coming, you know,
Yeah,
because the way his speech was going, he was like, someone needs to says that someone needs to stand up to these people. Someone needs to get involved. Someone needs to do this. And he's like, that's why. And like I knew it was coming.
yeah.
And then honestly, I was expecting
Oh
just kind of
shit.
crickets.
Sorry about that. Quick break. I'm on day rates at the moment, and the picture editor just called, so I have to take that.
Always on the move, always on the call.
Yeah, always, always, always.
That's all right. Well, this rally was obviously taking place right here at the ruins of kind of the city square, city center. Um, kind of the old school building that burned down, but just the walls are still up. Great location. Um,
Wow, what a backdrop.
right?
Did
And
were there any other celebrities that showed up?
funny you asked that. I got this guy right here, Dennis Quaid.
Oh yeah, Quaid.
And Dennis Quaid had this sign that said you can't tax ashes, obviously by some artist.
Wow.
That he was maybe he did it actually, I'm not sure. And it's got these
So
graphics.
that's what that's what the city of LA is trying to do at the moment, right? It's trying to tax people who have just like nothing there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they're just going to pull taxes out of everything, regulations and
So
taxes out of it.
ridiculous.
It's really sad. And I understand there's a lot of Palisades people that they have a lot of money, they can obviously rebuild it in a second if they wanted to, but a lot don't, you know,
Yeah,
and everybody can't be treated the same, and the way that these speakers were talking about, and there was a bunch of different people, but, their ideas about the way it should be handled should have been handled, but also should be handled in the future. Just total common sense. Makes complete sense.
yeah,
And everybody out there's cheering it on. And there was Democrats, there was Republicans, there was, randoms. Everybody was there. People were holding up Trump signs. People were, I didn't see many people holding up any Karen Bass signs, but
mhm,
there was no animosity. There was even a time
yeah,
where this kind of convoy of American flags and Trump supporters just came driving through on Sunset in the middle of the whole thing, and they were cheering, doing their thing, and there was no problems. I remember
no trouble.
there was another photographer there on a day rate, and the paper was asking him, uh, was anybody getting in scuffles? Was there any animosity? Was there anything going on? And it was like, no, it's because everybody's kind of standing together. There are a lot of rich people. Rich people don't really complain too much, but
Yeah,
everybody's out there for the same reason. And it was the fires that burned down their house and the neglect of the people in charge that fucking blew it,
yeah,
And usually more time goes on and you forget about what happened. And I'm sure that's what Karen Bass and Gavin Newsom are probably hoping happens. But the more time that goes on, the more comes out about this stuff,
yeah,
and the more neglect that you find out. And it's just really sad how it's all turned out. And I think I heard something like there's only been like 1,300 or 1,600 permits that have been laid out. 13,000 structures or 16,000 structures and homes were burned during the whole thing with Eaton there and all over the place. And it's crazy how it's been a year and barely anything has been done. It looks nicer there because the rains have come in and,
yeah.
you know, grown the vegetation back. But that just tells me that, we're going to be in another fire danger here in a couple of months.
Jeez, I can't believe it's been a year already, man. That's crazy.
I know, right? And honestly, when I look back on the videos and I see everybody's videos, and it's funny because, you know, I went up to Mighty Mofo because he was here at the rally,
Yeah,
and he says to me, "Where's Garner?" And I said, "I don't think Garner's coming."
hmm.
And when you look at everybody who was posting today, Catherine Schwarzenegger, Maria Shriver, Jennifer Garner, all these people from Palisades or that go and frequent the Palisades, they're all posting all these old fire pictures and stuff. Where were they today? You know,
Right.
why
Yeah,
weren't they making an appearance at this thing, at least as a neutral party or whatever? Um, it's just it just sucks that politics have to get involved so much that these celebrities who were so proud of Palisades and were a huge part of Palisades won't even show their faces at
Yeah.
something like this because they think it's like a Trump rally or against who they voted for rally.
Wow. Did Dennis Quaid speak as well, or was he just there for the event?
What? He might have spoke. I wasn't there for that. I was kind of in and out. I waited for Spencer and Heidi to speak, and I listened to everybody before them. But
Yeah.
it went on for a good probably hour after I left. But I
Oh,
had to
okay.
check on some other things. There was some other things around I had to work on. But yeah, he might have. I'm sure he probably did because when I went back by where his sign was here, he wasn't there. It was the other guy just kind of holding it up.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, this is what it looked like from up above. Uh, so yeah. Anyway, it's interesting to see how all this is gonna play out up in Palisades and Malibu, and especially Eaton. I mean, Eaton, those people were just totally screwed.
At first, if you don't succeed, try, and try again.
Well,
We will.
what you didn't see is we had more technical difficulties and we kind of froze up a little bit, and hopefully it doesn't happen again. But we're back.
Let's keep going.
We'll
Let's
just
let's
add
get.
some commercial breaks into that spot right there.
We'll get through it. We'll get through it.
Um,
So
Other than Palisades, I was asked and tasked to, well, let's just take it back a second because we haven't talked about this. We literally released the last episode when, like, the day of Rob Reiner getting brutally murdered, him and his wife being brutally murdered allegedly, by their son, Nick Reiner. And it was the biggest story. Still is a pretty big story, but it was the biggest story at the time. And I headed up to the house just to kind of try and get whatever pictures I could. No day rates, no nothing, just heading up there on my own because I know where the house is. It's near where I normally work on the west side. And I figured, that anything will go at this point. So I headed up there. Oh, I wanted to get the first aerials.
yes.
So, because last time there was a big murder in Hollywood like this, the pictures did pretty well of the aerials of the house. Unfortunately, that morning it was foggy and cloudy and dreary, which made for good mood pictures of the house,
Yeah.
but didn't make for good sales pictures of the house.
Oh no. No
But
sales.
no, well, I mean, maybe something I still haven't seen yet, but
Yeah.
maybe something. But the sales didn't happen. But I got the pictures anyway. I thought it was a race, and this is the constant changing of the business that nobody really understands, not even the photographers. Where in this situation, they're always looking for the first shot of whoever, whatever, anything happening. I was up there, crack of dawn, droning the house, getting the first pictures of the house, but it was cloudy. So, you come across the choice. Okay, well, I got these pictures. I sent them in. Do I wait for it to clear? So
Yeah.
I did. I waited hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. Wasn't clearing.
No shit. It was that long.
Yeah. So, well, it just kept coming in and out. And sometimes I would throw the drone up and I think it was clearing. And then I'd fly over it and it wasn't clearing. It just wasn't good enough. There was still the haze there.
Yeah.
So the pictures went in, whatever. They were the first pictures, but there was other stuff to do that day. I had a movie set to check. I had, a couple other things to check. So I went out, I did that. I thought to myself, I should come back later and just do a last minute kind of, if it's clear, uh, kind of
Yeah,
shot.
throw it up.
Yeah, and I didn't. So the next day, got the phone call. Um, the first pictures they didn't care about because of the fog. So they took the pictures from somebody else that put it up later in the day after it had cleared. The cleaner pictures, the better, not the first pictures. So
Yeah.
whatever. Uh, had to eat that one. But then a couple days later, I was asked and tasked to find the Reiner kids because nobody had
Right.
seen Romy, no one had seen Jake, and it was just kind of up in the air wherever they were, right? So they normally stay in the house next door to Rob Reiner's. And when I was up there that morning and the day after, I saw kind of cars coming and going. I saw some cars that were in the driveway that kind of, you know, you just kind of make a mental note of it, and then you kind of just wait around. You see what happens, and then, um, as I was kind of thinking about it, I'm thinking, they have a Malibu house. Where, why wouldn't I be at the Malibu house, right? And there was some rumors about how maybe they had sold the Malibu house or they were renting out the Malibu house and they weren't really they couldn't be there because somebody else was living there. But I thought to myself, they have to be there.
Yeah.
That's where they would be. No problem.
Some peace by the beach.
Exactly. So, and Christmas was coming up. That was Christmas week.
Hmm.
So I had this feeling that they probably went there every year, especially when they were young, that was the house that they spent Christmas at. The whole family got together, they spent the Christmas at the Malibu house, and that was their thing. So that's where they're all going to be. Problem is, it's on Carbon Beach,
Ah,
gated community, or sorry, Colony Beach. So gated
yep.
community, no way in or out, or one way in or out, pretty much. And Uh, but we'd worked it many, many times before in the past when DiCaprio lived in there,
Mhm.
Jason Statham lived in there, number of celebrities lived in there. Sting, um,
Pam,
Pam lived in there. Yes,
Jim Carrey, and was in there for a little bit with Jenny McCarthy.
exactly.
Yeah.
So we know what to do at that point. I knew what to do at that point, So I headed out there, spent most of the day out there, just kind of scanning, checking it out, getting a feel for the place, seeing if there was competition, and there was no competition out there, which was surprising. I drove around.
Were you on the beach then?
It was kind of back and forth. I would go, I
Mm.
would check the beach because I don't know if you know Jedi, but you used to have to climb down the rocks to get on the beach
Yeah.
at Colony Beach. It was kind of a pain in the ass. I actually have a funny story about Pigpen that maybe I'll tell you someday about climbing up those rocks. But you normally had to climb down the rocks like a surfer would have to climb down the rocks. It was a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
It was treacherous. You could fall. But now they have a nice brand new wooden stairway that just goes down
Ah,
to the beach because it's public access. So you can kind of just walk down, check, look on binoculars, and then kind of come back up and then watch the front a little bit because I was by myself.
yeah.
So the first day I was by myself. Second day I was teamed up uh, with another photographer. Who are we calling this other photographer?
AJ? I
I
don't
think
know.
we had a name for him. I think we had a
Did
nickname
we?
for him.
Oh, McManus.
McManus, that's it.
Yeah.
I was teamed up with McManus. Haven't been teamed up with him in a while. And it's like it's like Kobe and Shaq at that point, you
You don't
know?
hate each other though.
Huh?
Each
No,
other.
no, no. I'm saying when they played together, it's like Kobe and Shaq.
Prime time.
Exactly. So uh I got up there early the next morning. He got up there just after me, and we kind of split up our efforts. But when he got there, because he did get there a little after me, he decided to go to the coffee shop and get a coffee. Both of us a coffee, right? So
Very good. Is Starbucks still there at Cross Creek? Is that where you went?
that's where he went. Yes.
Hmm.
There is a nicer coffee shop there.
Yeah.
that I would go to if I was a celebrity or if I was, the Reiner kids or something like
Yeah.
that. But McManus went to the coffee shop, got in line, and as he was about to order, he noticed the people in front of him. He noticed the person in front of him ordering their coffee was Jake Reiner
Shut up.
and his wife. So he
That's
immediately calls
hilarious.
me, thinking that they're just going to walk out to the car. So
Yeah.
he's behind them in line. He wants to get his coffee, but I mean, and you can't just run out of the coffee shop
You
because that
can.
just looks, yeah, you can, because that just looks weird. But I actually don't know what he did at that time, but he called me immediately and he says, Jake is in here. He's in the coffee shop. He's coming out right now. So I'm by the front entrance. I flip a U-turn. I run down there real quick, and he's explaining to me what's going on as it's
Yeah.
as it's happening. And they're not walking out to the parking lot. They're walking down the sidewalk towards, the old magazine stand in that area, right? And I
Yeah.
know exactly what's happening at that point because they're in Colony,
Oh, they're on the south side of Cross Creek.
north side. They're at Starbucks, right?
But there's two
And they're
Starbucks on Cross. There's one on each side. But there's only one place that had the
no,
magazine
oh,
stand.
they're at the Starbucks by Rite Aid, CVS, Rite
Okay,
Aid,
so the other, yeah,
the
yeah,
other one, yes, but right
yeah,
around the back of Colony Beach.
yeah, yeah. Okay,
So that when they're walking down the pathway, I know exactly what they're doing because they're not walking out to a car where they're going to drive it back
yeah.
into the colony. They're walking back to walk to where the walking gate is
Ah,
alongside the colony. Now there is a road right there, but it's blocked by a gate. But the gate is never open. It's locked. Nothing ever happens. And
yeah,
I didn't know actually that you could walk through that gate with it's either a key card or it's a
yeah,
passcode or something like that. But I knew that they were going to go that way back to the house. So I just posted up at the mansion that's right next to it,
yeah.
pulled into the driveway like I was going into the place, and they came walking right past me, and I just drilled them. Raining. Yeah, by the way, it was raining the entire time we
Oh,
were there, just
Jesus.
kind of on and off or whatever. So rainy, tinted window closed,
Oh,
blasted them through the tint. But insane pictures of Jake and his girlfriend walking back, coffees in hand, and he's actually smiling in some of the pictures. And then they went back into the colony. So McManus and I, you know, couldn't be happier about, you know, getting these pictures, the
yeah,
first
nailed
pictures.
it. Like 5 minutes in.
Exactly. No competition, no nothing. But as we're kind of looking through the pictures and stuff, we notice the background. And the background in the pictures is an obvious background to any photographer that works in Malibu. They would
Yeah,
know
you're gonna know
exactly,
exactly.
they would put two and two together and they would know exactly. So it was about, are we going to wait, try and get the sister? Are we going to wait, try and get Romy, hold on to these pictures for a little bit and then put them out, whenever we can to make a little more sense. And we decided to do that. So um, we waited around the rest of the day, still no competition all day. And we didn't end up getting anything. The tides and the rain and everything, nobody's going out to the beach.
Yeah,
So, and I don't think Romy's leaving anytime soon to like go for a walk or to go for anything. So the next day comes around, we head back, same thing, split up our efforts. One waiting by, the coffee shop area to see that, one waiting by the front, but also kind of floating back and forth with checking the beach. Um, Nothing happens that day, but competition does show up at that
oh no shit.
point.
But so had you put the pictures out then?
We hadn't put the pictures out, but when competition showed up, we decided to just have them ready to go, just in case, you know, just in case
Yeah.
we feel it out where we need to put them out. Because once those pictures go out, it's a dead giveaway of where they are,
Hmm.
you know. So we kind of let competition sweat for a little while, figuring
Did
out
they
what to
see
do.
you? Competition see you?
They did. So, but it was only one. It's only one guy.
Oh, okay.
So there's three different exits, three different ways that they have to watch. They don't really know this yet, but we, they have to figure it out. So we pretty much get a whole nother day out of waiting and checking, right?
Yeah.
So the paper can't, they can't wait any longer. They have to put the pictures out because we don't know what's happening in between. We don't know what's happening at night. We don't know if they're going out at night and if the competition's staying there,
Yeah.
anything like that. So they end up putting the pictures out. The next day, more competitions there, two or three more guys, but they still don't know what's going on. Uh, so I have a feeling because after 3 or 4 days, you're cooped up. The sun was coming out on this last day, this Friday, right? And oh yeah, and we had taken off I had taken off Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, right? And I had figured, and it was going to be raining, just dumping rain
Yeah.
for those 2 days, and even Friday after that. But I knew it was going to be clearing up Friday, Saturday, and Romy's birthday was on Saturday. So Friday, head down there, and I just
Surprise, but the day after Christmas.
day after Christmas, yeah.
Right.
I head down there and I just sit on the beach because at this point I'm thinking she's not going to be walking to any coffee shops. If anything, when the weather clears, she's going to be going down to the beach, right?
Yeah.
So I'm there all day long
On day rate.
on day rate, and there's nothing. I come in, I when it starts raining, I go to my car, I go and I sit by the gate or I sit by the front. When it's not raining, I'm sitting down on the beach, but nothing. Also, I see competition rolling around, but everybody's just kind of up in the air about what they're going to do because it's raining and nothing's happening.
Yeah.
So Friday, nothing happens either. Saturday, Romy's birthday, the weather is supposed to clear up. So I get down there bright and early. I look at the tide. I know the tide is going out at that point. And so I go and I sit down on the beach. And where we're sitting on the beach, because it's a big controversy of how you're supposed to shoot this quote unquote private beach in Malibu. We've
Yeah.
shot it millions of times. It is what it is. When these people are on their properties and they're standing on their properties, especially behind their fences, um, you can't really be shooting them. You're not really supposed to be shooting them from the sand part of the beach. Now, there's a thing called the mean high tide line
Mm-hmm.
where the water goes up and it comes back down, where the water is still where the sand is still wet, and even a little bit above where you can see the change in the
Yeah.
color of the sand. That's the mean high tide line. And along the California coast, that is public beach no matter where you go, no matter what you do. That can never be
Yeah.
closed or private. So that's where I'm hanging out. I'm hanging out on the rocks. And I'm watching from the other side of the beach. So um Saturday, I'm down there early. Nothing happens. Competition shows up, but not where I am. Um they kind of the McManus just tells me that they've shown up. They're kind of up there in the cars and stuff, but nobody comes down to the beach. Around 9:30, we see Romy's boyfriend, or I see Romy's boyfriend come out onto the beach. At the same time, there was a woman that was walking past me with her kids because the weather's clearing up. The weather's clear, the
Yeah.
tide's out. Everybody's been cooped up for 3 days. They're all starting to come out, and this is
Mm-hmm.
Christmas vacation. It's tourists, it's families of people that are there, it's people that are locals. And this woman comes by me with her kid, and they're doing some like kind of shell hunting and stuff like that, but they have a dog and they walk past me. But at the same time, this guy comes out of their house. I see him come down. And the because of the storm from the 2 days before that, it has eroded the beach in front of the house where their their stairway is completely buried in sand. And from their house down to the beach is about a 6 foot sheer drop
Oh,
of
no
sand. It's
shit.
like a cliff. So anybody who comes out and wants to go onto the beach where they are, they have to actually
Jump.
slide down this little sand cliff to get onto the beach. And I'm thinking, she's not going to do that. You know, she's not. And I didn't think about this at the time, but when the
How are they going
boyfriend,
to get back up?
yeah, exactly, how they're going to get back up. It's even worse. So I see this person come down because you can see it from that far. You can see him come down the stairway and then down the cliff, and he's walking down the beach. And I'm starting to shoot him just to get some video, just to see who it is. And as the woman is passing by me on my side of the beach,
Mm.
don't think anything of her, but then I kind of just stop and I'm just kind of watching the situation. And she walks past and she walks past him, but then stops and starts talking to him. And their dogs start playing together and they're talking. And I'm just kind of looking at it thinking, oh, geez, they're talking, whatever. They're saying hello. Maybe they know each other. Maybe they don't. And this is
Maybe
the
she's
boyfriend.
fucking. Maybe she's saying this guy's shooting you.
Maybe, exactly. Nobody was looking my way though at the time, you know?
Mm.
So, and then he gets on the phone and he kind of like looks down while he's talking to her. He kind of gets on the phone and blah, 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 whatever. 2 or 3 minutes go by and I look and I see three people kind of walk out to the end of their little balcony area, to the top of the stairway to go down to the sand. You know, it's probably like a little 5 foot little area where they could stand where they're looking out over the beach. And I look in my binoculars and I see it's Romy and what I think is the two aunts, you know, her
So Rob's
Reiner's
sisters.
sister and her mom's sister,
Oh, okay.
one of the two, because I'd done some research before that and stuff, and I'd been, passing pictures back and forth about who to watch for and stuff like that. And they're all kind of out there, and they're kind of looking down the beach, they're kind of pointing my way, and then they start kind of like, and I immediately pull out the video and I start doing video, I start videoing everything. So, and then one of the aunts goes and just puts her arm around Romy and just gives her this like nice big like kind of like you know hug.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God. And I had no time even to just stop the video. I just started snapping pictures on the video, you know?
On what? The
Uh,
infiltrator?
I had the infiltrator. It's the only thing that can get that from that distance. It
Mm.
gets something from that distance, right? Um, so so that you know so they do that and they hold these poses for a long time. They stop, they go, they kind of like talk about it, they look down at the phone a little bit, and then they kind of do it again, and then they kind of do it again. And they're
Huh.
out there for a good 5, 6 minutes, and then they look down
They're
at their
making
phone
sure you got it. They're making sure you got it.
and then they look down at their phone again, and then they kind of, and then they walk back in. And then the woman and the boyfriend kind of split their ways and just kind of it kind of, and I'm like, okay, fine. I got it.
Yeah.
Whatever. Got the first pictures, got the first video of her. So, and then no competition for at least a couple more hours. And then when they came down finally, it was just obviously playing defense the whole time. What have you seen anything? No, just a bunch of
Yeah.
bullshit, just a bunch of, just a downplaying everything, nothing here. Oh, nothing to see here. And I was there the rest of the day up until sunset. We were there the rest of the day up until sunset, and they never came back out. And you
Perfect.
and you should have seen the boyfriend trying to get back up that sand cliff. When like just like you said, when you're trying to get up that sand cliff, it took him, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes to just claw his way up that, and the dog just went right up. Um, so we put the pictures out, and there was a big controversy the next day and that day about the legality of the pictures, right?
Yeah.
Now, we had taken these pictures a million times before. The same kind of pictures, different scenarios, DiCaprio, Jim Carrey, Jen Garner, all these things. No problems with any of these pictures. Yes, technically when they're on their properties, it is, the implied privacy thing. But the more I looked at the pictures, the more I looked at the video, the more feeling I got that they were kind of taking the heat off themselves. They knew there was
Yeah.
photographers out there because we had put out the pictures of the brother just the day before,
Yeah.
and they knew they were out there. They knew they had to eventually, you know, face the cameras. You know,
Yeah.
so. It took hours, half a day to kind of figure out what they wanted to do with the pictures. But they eventually took out a few of the pictures because they seemed a little too somber of
Yeah,
pictures, but they were hugging each other and they were that kind of thing. I thought those were the best pictures because, you know, that's what they were giving up. That's what they
yeah,
wanted the public to see in that situation because I was still convinced that they were giving up the pictures, right?
yeah,
So, um, so the pictures went out. Uh, as the other photographers in the competition started seeing all the pictures, they were obviously calling what's going on. You know, wow, nice. I either got nice pictures or, okay, it's nailed, pressure's off, that kind of thing, or it was, more like, now we got to stay down there forever
yeah,
until we get something better or, something else happens. And um, so the next day we took the day off. Or no, sorry. The next day we all came back, started pouring for the whole day. No one was getting anything. And then the Monday after that, we all decided to take the day off, at least most of us.
yeah.
But there was one agency and the Mighty Mofo that decided to or I think they were on a day rate. That decided to stay down there on the beach the rest of the day. And they ended up getting some really nice pictures when Romy and Jake decided to come out together on the beach, walking down the beach. The shot we were looking for the entire time.
Yeah.
But the way he told the story was that they were down on the beach, that they sent the boyfriend out again to kind of scan the beach, that he saw them down there, called them, and they came out all together and walked down the beach, said hello to the photographer that was
Oh
sitting on
no
the beach,
shit.
but then continued down the beach to get to give it up to any other photographers that were all the way at the end of the beach, which was him, and then turned to go back, put their heads down, and then walk back to the house. So
Wow.
that confirmed what I thought was they were coming out to take the heat off. They were
Yeah,
coming out to give up the pictures to play the game, you know?
yeah, yeah.
And then they ended up doing the same thing on Monday because someone had seen other photographers down there and they decided to give it up one more time just in case.
Wow.
So, there was a lot of negative comments on, the pictures that we got and the pictures that they got really, which was, leave them alone, leave them alone, leave them alone. Um, at the same time, the people that are saying leave him alone are obviously looking at the pictures.
Yeah, they're clicking on the story. It was a huge public interest story.
It
You know,
was.
people, you guys wouldn't be on day rates for that long if people weren't interested and weren't clicking on the stories.
That's true.
You know, yeah,
That's true. Um, and this is our job. This is what we do.
yeah.
You know,
We document. We bring you the news. It's images that people want to see.
it is whether you want to say that you want to see him or
Yeah,
whether you're just kidding yourself about, being interested in this story. These are the pictures you want to see. These are the pictures that they obviously gave up to us that they wanted the
yeah,
public to see. And this is the game. This is the game we play. This is Hollywood. You know, this is what we
yeah,
do. This is the way the world is. So, if you want to, you know, talk shit about our job and what we do in these situations, because obviously it's a touchy situation. It was a horrible situation that they went through. But when you're in the public eye, when you're public figures, and if you look at her Instagram and if you look at his, there are obviously people trying to make their way as well. They're trying to make their own names in Hollywood. You know, they're trying to do their own thing. This doesn't exactly hurt their image, you know. People will still
yeah.
be interested, um, and life goes on, you know.
As sad as it is to say, it does. Yeah,
As sad as it is to say it, yeah. but yeah, as I was telling these stories, these were the pictures of the brother,
Yep.
um,
Nailed.
nailed. These were the pictures of the boy, jeez, the boyfriend with the dog,
Yep.
and
Hosed.
hosed, and then these were the pictures of Romy. And these pictures right here, you're only going to see on the PPC, which is, these are the pictures that they used.
Yeah.
But then these pictures right here are the somber pictures that they didn't want to put up. That you're only going to see on
Is that which one's Romy? The one on the
Romy's
left or the
the
right?
dark hair.
Okay.
And
Damn.
that's when they knew. And there's some pictures here. Let me find the pictures of them pointing at us. See, this is when they were looking at us. They were looking down the beach.
Yeah. They know.
They knew. And then if you look at the video here too. Oh, wait. Is this gonna work? Hold on. Hold on.
Yeah,
Here
I think I saw her mouth there. That's Mark Karloff down there.
we go. Saw their mouth. See, look.
They go, hey, that's that guy from Paparazzi Podcast. I
Hey,
recognize him from
hey,
Instagram.
there's Mark. There he is. Okay, Romy. I'm gonna
I've seen him on the set of The Rookie.
um and then McManus got some pictures later on of them, the brother, when he was out and about. Um and then this is the article right here.
There it is. Exclusive, Mel Plus.
So that was the Reiner story, and it
Incredible.
continues because now, he's been arraigned. I don't know what happened with the arraignment today because I was already doing some other stuff.
Yeah,
But
I didn't see anything either. I've been busy all day.
um but why don't we take a break? I don't know, we got 7 minutes actually.
Talk about your what you just missed.
What I just missed?
Yeah,
Oh,
you told me on the phone.
that's a good one. You're right. That'll take 6 minutes. That'll be perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah. So a few days after that, there was obviously a story in the news about Mickey Rourke. Everybody's probably heard about that. The Mickey Rourke story about how he's missed his rent, $60,000 behind rent, something like that.
yeah,
And I wanted to go get some pictures of him, right? So I got an address on him. I don't know if it was the correct address or not, but I headed over there. But before I headed over there, I had a friend who was out on Christmas break, wasn't working, and said, "Hey, can I ride along today? Go out with you?" And I said, "Fine, let's go." So he hopped in the car. We go out to Mickey Rourke's. He's a Mickey Rourke fan too. We're both Mickey Rourke fans. So he goes
mm,
out. We head over to the house, and it's this, dumpy, house in West Hollywood. I remember even asking AI about it, and AI was like, "Oh yeah, it's in Beverly Hills, but it's on the West Hollywood side of Beverly Hills or something like that."
right.
But it was a dumpy house, and there really wasn't anything going on. The grass had just been cut. It was kind of just weird. And when you take somebody out with you that's not normally that doesn't really know the job too well or whatever, and not used to the
Yeah,
job, they're not used to just sitting, doorstepping,
exactly.
waiting.
Yeah,
They don't have the patience. So, and we didn't know if this was the address. Like we knew it was an address that his last known address, but we didn't know if it was the address that he was actually at. So we waited 1, 2 hours. After that, my partner just starts getting antsy, impatient, and starts going, I don't know if this is going to
yeah.
happen. I don't know if it's going to happen. And then I start thinking the same thing. I don't know if this is going to happen either. We don't know if this is the right place. Screw it. 2.5 hours in, I'm like, screw it. We're out of here. So we move on. We go check some other things. Don't end up getting anything the whole day, right? Go home. Next day pops up on social media. Mickey Rourke picks up his groceries, his dropped off groceries out in front of his house. Mickey Rourke picks up his Taco Bell that's been door dashed in front of his house. Bald head.
Yeah,
He doesn't even have his wig on, nothing. Just leans out, grabs his groceries, just looks like shit. Not my
yeah. Looked
pictures.
terrible.
Yeah. So, and I know at the time that I got there, because we got there pretty early, there wasn't any groceries out front. It wasn't waiting. And obviously, when you show up to somebody's house and there's groceries sitting out by the door,
Yeah.
you're going to
You
sit there and
wait.
wait because they're going to come out and get it.
And the pictures were of the same address that you were at, right? Because you could obviously tell.
I could tell. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I immediately
Fuck.
texted those to my friend and said, "You are not a pap."
Yeah,
So I blame it on him.
absolutely. As you
He
should.
listens to the podcast too. So,
Oh,
you know who
boo.
you are.
Boo.
Stick to construction. Um, but then a couple days later, because I'm like, okay, the pictures have been taken, you know, I head back a couple days later, thinking that okay, because the story's developing. There's now there's been a GoFundMe that has been put out that he says isn't his. That's upwards of
Yeah.
$100,000, which I don't even know how that works. Like, so I can go set up a GoFundMe for freaking Jennifer Garner, and then everybody will go pay, and then I could just collect it. Like, I don't know how that works. So I
Let's
think
do
he's
it. Let's
bullshitting.
try.
I think his buddy set it up, and it is for
Yeah.
him. Because why not?
Yeah.
When you could
Yeah.
just go on and say it's not you. So I went by there the other day, and all my West Side nemesis are sitting at the house.
They're all there.
But I did hear, I think you told me that he checked into a hotel.
Yeah, that's what I saw somewhere.
Okay, good. Because I hope that those guys are just sitting there doing nothing but scratching
Yeah.
their ass. Because I haven't seen any pictures since then. Have you?
No.
Good. Thank God. Um, I did see though on that day that I was out with my buddy, we did go up to Beverly Glen Deli like the old days because he wanted to see somebody.
Yeah.
So we went up there and we saw the legendary.
John Voight.
No, but that's a good guess.
Oh,
Is there anybody else you want to guess? I'll give you three guesses.
there's nobody else ever up there other than John Voight and Brian Wilson from the Beach Boys, but he died.
He's
Um,
he's good too, but it's all in that same crew. Okay. Did you want to guess
oh, the
anybody?
dude from Kiss.
Oh my God, which one?
That one, Ace Frehley, whatever
Oh,
he's called.
I'll
Was it?
give you one more guess.
Oh, Gene Simmons.
Oh no, the last one.
Oh, I don't know the other one.
It's Paul Stanley from
Oh,
Kiss.
that's the one. Yeah.
That's the one you were looking for. Yes, Paul Stanley, always at the Beverly Glen Deli. He didn't go to the
That's
deli though. He
funny.
went to the Starbucks. But he is a regular at that spot. And yes, we
Yeah.
did see the legendary Paul Stanley while we were there.
Oh,
So
that's funny. Yeah, that's $0 in sales right there.
$0. That's it. I didn't even get a picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was too late. But didn't matter. Um, well, let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll get some Jedi's journeys and Jedi stories, and then we'll maybe try and get into some other stuff I've got notes on.
Let's do it.
Jedi's gonna go and grab himself an espresso shot.
I'm ready for bed.
Okay, stay up. Don't fall
I
asleep.
will. I
All right,
will.
all right,
Right.
right. Let's try and get this going here. See,
Right.
what everybody doesn't understand is, or they do maybe, is that Jedi is 3 hours ahead of me and has always had a long day.
Jedi is ready for bed eye. Um, right. How many flights did I take last year? It is the new year.
Oh yeah, dude, we haven't even done
It
our
is
our our pictures of the year.
Oh, I haven't even picked mine yet.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. There was not really enough votes to decide what my pictures of the year were. So I put all my information into AI and had AI pick my picture of the year.
Okay.
And I will reveal it at the end of the episode.
Okay. Fantastic. My pick for your pick of the year. Well, I'll do that at the end as well. So yeah, I have all my flight stats in
Yeah,
front of me.
see, at the end of all these, we obviously haven't done any kind of like pre-production work on this thing. And Jedi, there's so much to go over at the end of the years. And Jedi's got all this tracking information. He's got all the funnest stuff to guess at the end of this year. So I'm really excited to hear about what is happening with all this.
Well, you're going to do it right now. How many flights did I take?
Okay.
Let me just say, for 2024, I took 93
Okay,
flights.
I thought I was gonna say it was 97. I
Yep,
obviously didn't remember correctly, but yeah, so 97. And I remember maybe 2 months ago or something, you told me that you were already over the flights, or maybe it was more than that, already over the flights you took the year before.
correct.
Okay, so and since then, I'm gonna say uh it's actually the thought that's been in my head the entire time. I have either 127 or 117, but it's one of those.
Okay, you're short.
I'm short.
Yeah,
No way.
yeah,
Okay. So 137 then because I
you're
had a dream
short.
about it.
You're short.
Still short.
Still short.
Okay, there's nobody. Okay. 147.
You're one over.
Okay. 146 fucking flights.
146 flights. I went around the world 4 times,
Wow.
uh, just under 98,000 miles. And that's crazy because last year was just under 60,000. So I've done almost 40,000 more miles than last year.
Wow.
You want to guess how many airports I went through? And remember, I'm flying into the same airports a lot of
So
the time.
so we're not counting how many like airports you flew into. It's just how many airports,
How many different
different
airports?
airports.
Yeah,
37.
41
Wow.
airports. My flight time was just under 2 weeks in the air.
Wow.
2 full weeks in the air.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's
Anything
just
else?
ridiculous.
Now, is there a way to actually do a time lapse of your back and forths on that app that you track yourself with?
It would be cool. Let me just
Because
pull up my.
I remember seeing Taylor Swift's, flights for her Eras tour, and they had like a time lapse that would go back and forth and back and forth.
So there's no time lapse, but
It just shows just the squiggles.
there's lots of backwards and forwards and here's and there's and
We'll definitely
yeah.
screenshot that and we can post that.
Oh, I will absolutely. And 41 hours lost from delays.
That's crazy.
My longest delay was 4 hours.
That's actually not that bad if you think about all those stats.
Yeah,
41 hours is really not that bad.
I was 19 hours and 32 minutes late total.
Wow.
39% late arrivals, 36% late departures, 55 total delays.
That's crazy.
Yeah, right. There's another one that's my longest flight and my shortest flight. Uh, my shortest flight in miles.
17.
That's for 17 miles. Come on.
Oh,
That's
you know,
ridiculous.
it always surprises me. It
62,
could be a
62.
puddle jumper, you know what I mean? Across to a freaking island. I don't know.
Yeah, 62 was my shortest flight in miles.
I want to say
Uh,
that one of your flights in Bermuda or Barbados, whatever, what was it?
It was Belize.
Belize?
My flights in Belize a few years ago were much shorter than that. Yeah,
Yeah.
and my longest flight was just under 4,000, which is when I went on to England. But yeah, there you go. There's the Jedi flight stats.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Now, I did bump into Toby
Yes.
while I was at Reiners, and he says that he travels more than you do.
I think we're I think I travel more because he gets a bunch of jobs in LA.
Yeah, it was one of those where I said, "Oh, are you sure about that?" And he was just for sure.
I don't think so.
He's
I
like,
think we're
"My God,
but
he doesn't even stand a chance."
I think we're as busy as each other, but lots of his are in Los Angeles,
Really?
so not as many flights.
Okay. Yeah, because he's
Yeah.
here, he lives here. Yeah.
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 Okay. Well, I mean, cheers to
To Air
life
Miles.
life in the fucking air, dude. Yeah,
Cheers
cheers
to
to
Air
air
Miles.
miles and
Yeah,
hotel miles.
and hotel points, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'll cheers to that all day.
Damn right.
I did finish up 2026 with one more story, but I've not spoken about. And
Let's hear it.
it's a sucker. It's a sad one,
Oh,
unfortunately.
sadder than
Um,
Reiner?
well, it's on par. Not that it was a celebrity story, but I was sent to San Antonio for a 19-year-old girl, Camila Mendoza Olmos, who went missing from her family home on Christmas Eve. So we went there I think I flew in on the 28th, so a few days afterwards, with a reporter. So it'd been 3, 4 days that the young girl had been missing. And with these stories, you've got to go and door knock the family. So we went and door knocked the family home where she lives with her mother and brother, and we knocked it, and we were just invited straight in, which never happens.
Yeah.
It never happens, you know. And I'm always weary to go to the door with the reporter on these because 99 out of 100 times either they don't answer or it's a please respect our privacy kind of thing. But I went up with the reporter and she introduced herself and me to it was the mother that answered the door, and we said who we were working for and whatever, and the mother invited us in, and we were inside for 2 hours. She told us all about Camilla. She showed us gifts under the Christmas tree that she had ready for her to open on Christmas Day a few days before. She showed us all the family photos along the stairwell, and then she brought in a this chap who was helping with the search party, and they laid out the map on the table and were pointing to spots that they'd searched, and where they were going to search next, and all of that jazz. So we spent, like I say, over 2 hours inside the family home with just the most loving family. We were introduced to aunts and nieces and cousins,
Oh,
and everybody was just so nice, so welcoming, and they were thankful that we were doing a story on it, like getting her name out there, getting images of her out there. Um, and like I say, it's a sad story because while we were there, not at the house, but 2 days later, her body was discovered in actually a field right behind the house. Um, she'd suffered, she'd had a history of depression and self harm, unfortunately. And on that Christmas Eve, she'd she'd taken a gun from her brother's room and gone for a walk be behind the house and shot herself in the head. So at 19 years old as well, just fucking brutal.
Yeah.
Um, just such a fucking. It was tough, man. It was really tough because like we got to know the family, and like I said, they were so lovely. And we got the call that the body had been found from the chap that was laid out the map, and we went around to the location. Police were already there. The FBI were there. They locked it down, and I just did some GVs of the scene. The father was at the scene, so I got pictures of the father. But yeah, we did that, and then flew home the next day, and was home for New Year's Eve, and hugged my family, told them I loved them, and that was the end of 2025. So just a horrible one to end the year with, and I think that might be. I've done missing people before, I think, but there's nothing that's ended so tragically and just so gut wrenching.
Yeah. And
It,
right
it
there,
was
right in
a
front of you, pretty much, you know?
Oh, I know, it was horrific. It was just brutal, absolutely fucking brutal.
Well, and I've got a 17-year-old daughter, you know, it's like
Yeah, it's
that's
just so sad that at that age you think there's no other way out than to end your life. And talking to the mother, she said like the daughter went missing around 7 o'clock in the morning on Christmas Eve, and earlier on Christmas Eve, the mother said she woke up at I don't know 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, went downstairs for a glass of milk or whatever, went back upstairs, ran into the daughter who'd gone to the bathroom, and then the daughter went into the mother's bedroom, and they snuggled up and fell asleep together, and then to think 3 hours later she tops
that's
herself.
crazy.
Just fucking horrific, mate. Yeah. So, everybody hug your loved ones and.
Well, and you would think too, because you're snuggling up at that time, like and then you find out that that happened when it happened. You're like, well, how could anything have gone any different? You
I
know?
know, I know.
Like how
Yeah.
could how could I have done anything? How could I have said anything any different? Because that's what it was. But obviously she was saying goodbye
Yeah,
because she had
exactly.
already made the decision, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So that's it's pretty bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's a horrible way to end
I
2025
know, I
on
know,
a
mate.
story.
It is. So yeah, hug your loved ones, tell them you love them, and if something's not, if you're feeling something, talk to somebody about it, guys, because there are better ways out than the way that young Camilla took.
Well, and when you're 19, I mean, I've obviously had suicidal thoughts at one point in my life when I was that young. You don't, I mean, they're not thoughts that I ever would have acted on, but it was just like,
Yeah,
oh, geez, this sucks. She broke up with me, blah, blah, blah.
yeah,
Like, oh my God, this sucks. I can totally I don't need to deal with this, whatever,
yeah,
but you move on.
yeah, yeah,
And when you look back on 19 years old, you're going to realize it really
yeah.
wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah, so yeah, I ended the year on a stinker, a real sad one. And the job I'm on right now is the first one I've been on since the new year, and it's an absolute corker. And I cannot wait to talk about it because
Corker, mate.
it is a corker, and it has been absolutely hammer and nails, just destroyed it.
Wow.
It's a good one to talk about, which I'm looking forward to being able to.
And
Um,
and for anybody that doesn't know, this is all British photographer talk. Okay. Corker means
it's a cracker. It's a good one. Really good
yeah,
story.
like corking the champagne. It's like
Yeah,
it's
there
a
you go.
corker. It's like wow, amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
Hammer and
It's
nails means,
just nailed it, I
I,
think.
yeah, I've just been nailing the frames, mate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And
So,
everything was. We flew in yesterday at 11 o'clock in the afternoon and nailed 3 sets, and the just the fucking cherry on top of the cake as the sun was going down and as it was getting dark. It's we went above and beyond. I can't wait to talk about it.
Golden hour, mate. Golden hour.
Well, past the golden hour,
Ooh,
the
okay.
dark hour, the dark hour.
Wow. Okay. Well,
Yeah, it's a good one.
great. Well, we can't wait to hear about that one.
Yeah, I can't wait to tell it. Can't wait to show it off.
Next papisode, everybody.
Yeah,
Well,
something to look forward to.
I've got some notes that I want to talk about while we have
Okay.
a few more minutes.
Yep.
Um, one of them is at the top of the notes here. I don't know why this one's so far up, but there was a guy in Malibu while I was waiting for these Reiner kids. Okay.
Mm.
Now, I was sitting in the Country Mart. I was sitting in front of Zinc restaurant, which is this high-end, right across from the magazine stand. It's been many
Okay.
different things, but now it's
Yeah.
Zinc, and Zinc is kind of a chain now. They've got them all over.
Oh,
I want to say it's like the
never
guy,
heard of it.
the guy that did the guy that did the food trucks in the beginning. Um, the Asian dude. Anyway,
Oh
it doesn't
yeah.
matter.
Oh, it's a French restaurant.
Oh, it's French. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he might be doing French cuisine. Anyway, doesn't matter. So I was sitting in front of that, waiting for them to come to go to either Starbucks or go anywhere else. And this old guy, obviously local, right? Pulls up right in front of me because I'm just sitting in the parking lot in a parking spot. He pulls up right in front of me, right? Like just nose to nose. And old guy, and I know I've seen him before. He might even be somebody. I'm not sure. But he sits in his car. He kind of looks up at me a couple of times, but he's sitting in his car. He's looking down his phone. He's doing whatever. And then he goes and, and he goes into Zinc and he grabs like a bag full of food, right?
Yeah.
Comes back to his car. And we're talking like he's in his like 80s. Like he's like old, right? Little guy, little old guy. And he sits in his car and he eats his food, right? And it
Yeah.
starts raining. And this is one of those rainy days where it's just off and on rain. And when it would rain, it would be heavy rain, you know? But then after maybe 20, 30 minutes of him sitting there eating and stuff, he cracks his window open because it's obviously raining, so it's going to get wet, right? And he just like pushes all of his trash out the window.
Shut up.
Like the
What a
window's not
dick.
even cracked enough to throw all of his, like he could roll it all the way down, just throw all of his trash out, but he doesn't want to get wet, you know?
What a
So
dickhead.
So he rolls his window down about this far and he's just like prying it out of the window onto the ground. And my whole thought ahead of time was
Fuck
like, this
that.
guy's a local guy. Like, this guy's local, you know? Like,
Yeah.
nobody fucking throws their trash out if they're local, you know, in Malibu.
Ah.
And then, so he does that and he's like just fiddling with his stuff and he starts starting up his car. And I get out of my car. I like
Oh
step
no,
out.
you didn't.
I stepped out and I like stood out in the rain. I stood out just like staring at him, you know? And he backs out of his parking space. And as he's backing out, he kind of looks out the window and he looks at me and he stops and he looks at me. And I just kind of go like, really? Like this? And he just kind of just turned his head and just took off.
Shut up.
And I was like, I'm going to talk about you on the podcast, bitch.
Oh, you should have taken a picture of his license plate and
I
taken it to
know,
the
right?
Malibu cops.
I was amazed. I couldn't believe this guy, man. You
That's
know,
fucking crazy.
just old dude, you know, last thing I would ever expect. Like, you know, I could see him just, uh, turning around and, beating the shit out of somebody more than I would expect him to go and do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was that bad.
What an asshole.
Um, that's the only note I made actually of like notes. The rest I have is what you're watching. Have you watched anything Jedi?
Yes.
Oh, sweet. God, it's been like three podcasts since you've watched anything.
Yes, I've watched something.
What is it?
It
I
was
hope it's something that I've seen so we can talk
it's
about
on
it. Jesus.
it's on Netflix.
Okay.
It stars Tony Collette.
We're getting there. Oh, okay, I'm out.
and it's called Wayward.
Okay. Must be British.
No, it's
Oh,
American, and it's good.
okay.
It's a thriller. A small town cop suspects that the local school for troubled teens suspects that the local school for troubled teens and its dangerously charismatic founder, Tony Collette, may not be all that it seems.
Wow. Okay. And Toni Collette hasn't been anything in a
Ooh.
while.
Yeah, it's good.
I haven't seen her probably in like a decade.
Yeah, yeah, but so it's worth a watch. It's an eight-parter. The wife started it without me, as she usually does, and I caught up from, I caught maybe the last 5 minutes of the first episode and then watched the rest with her. It's
Oh,
good.
so you saw the whole thing.
A little scary. I don't like scary stuff, so I had to watch a little bit of it behind a pillow.
Oh,
Um, but it
okay.
was good. It was enjoyable.
Okay.
What else am I watching? Oh, oh, I can't tell you what that is because it's something to do with what I'm working on.
Ooh, that's even
Yeah,
better. I like
yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah.
So there's a documentary about it, is what you're saying?
There's something about it. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's fucking can't wait.
So that'll be a watching for next week.
All right.
Um, am I watching anything else? No, I
Well,
need something else to watch.
I can't say that I'm not watching anything
Yeah,
because I'm
you're
always
always
watching
watching
everything.
something.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And I've been watching everything. One thing I did watch actually, which is funny, or sorry, one thing I didn't watch, which is funny, is the fucking goddamn Critics' Choice Awards. So,
mm,
that happened over the weekend. There was a lot of football going on, and I had a choice of actually going and covering the arrivals at the Critics' Choice Awards because I did some last year. I did it last year. I came across it by accident, and I just videotaped everybody getting out of their cars. I
yeah,
was going to do it again this year, but I said fuck it. But there was a little story about Leonardo DiCaprio and his
DiCap.
bitch ass
Yeah,
being stuck on Bezos's yacht during this whole Venezuela Trump thing, capturing the
yeah,
Venezuelan president. And I did reach out to another photographer, and supposedly DiCaprio was here
oh, really?
for the Palm Springs,
Yeah,
film awards or whatever it's called. And he didn't show up, and he said he was still on the yacht or on the boat or in St. Bart's or whatever the fuck he was,
yeah.
and he was here, and he just
Dick.
didn't want to go.
He's such a prick.
So he used the excuse of the Venezuelan, event to say that the skies were closed and he couldn't get out of there.
What
So
an asshole.
I don't know if this is actually true. It's not, totally confirmed, but this is a rumor. But if DiCaprio did lie about not going to the Palm Springs Film Festival, first of all, everybody in Palm Springs should never watch another DiCaprio film ever again.
Yeah,
I was hoping that they would just take care of DiCaprio in this whole thing because, he's up for the Academy Award now, or he will be probably for his new movie that came out, that One Battle After Another, which I haven't seen yet. And they would just give it to him, just say fuck off.
yeah.
But you know what happens with these things, right? Because Chalamet just won for the Critics' Choice, I think.
Marty Supreme. Yeah,
Marty Supreme, yeah. And what I hope happens now for DiCaprio, if he actually lied about this bullshit, is he wins for all these other things, but then when the Academy Award comes up, they give it to Chalamet, even though I'm not a big fan of Chalamet either,
yeah,
because he's I posted it the other day when he jumped out of he was in New York. He jumped out of one of the vans and ran behind his security
yeah,
guard up to the thing. And I said he's like a Bieber DiCaprio hybrid.
yeah, yeah. Exactly.
Not cool.
No.
Um, I did watch. the Taylor Swift thing on Disney Plus, the Eras Tour thing. I'm not really going to talk about it, although I did what I found really respectable about that was the cruise. The
Yeah,
cruise that helped Taylor Swift in that on those shows. I mean, what was it, 150 countries or something like that, or sorry, 150 shows, like 80 countries, whatever it was. It was unbelievable, and the cruise have all the respect for that. Like, I
oh
mean,
yeah. I mean, she gave them all massive bonuses as well, which is
she
great.
gave them all massive bonuses, which was great. I mean, if she didn't do that, I mean, that would have been horrible. She had to do that because when this came out, when these videos came out for Disney Plus, and they showed what the crew went through to deal with all this stuff. I mean, this is film crews times 1,000.
Wow.
These people were on it every single day, rain or shine, because film crews, they can stop. The weather's bad, they stop, they move on
Yeah.
to the next day, whatever. These things, it happens no matter what. And Taylor herself, to be honest, I gave her a little bit of props because rain or shine, sick or whatever, she had to get out there and do it too. And those things are
Three
not
hours a day, right?
3 hours. Yeah, I mean, that those were not physically easy things to
Uh-uh.
do. Mentally dealing with all those people all the time, different. I don't know how they all did it. To be honest, it was crazy. And it's hats off to everybody involved in that Eras tour. Um, Stranger Things? Yes? No?
Too scary for me.
Too scary for you? It's not
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah.
My kids have been
No.
watching it since they were the age of the kids in the show.
Yeah. No. That's it's not for me.
Well, I don't need to get into it too much because everybody's already been into it too much. It's been the
Yeah.
hottest thing. Um, but what I did do is I did watch the final episode in the movie theater.
Oh
I don't know if you know that they did that. So
no.
the final episode, which was 2 hours long, the
Jesus.
final episode, the season or the series finale was 2 hours long, and they released it in the theater as well as on Netflix.
You had to pay for it.
Had to pay for it. But what I didn't know was when I paid for it, which I didn't mind at all, um, was when we got there, we got our movie ticket. Our movie ticket got us $20 of free concessions as well.
Oh, okay. That's good.
So $20 for the movie, $20 for free concessions. It was basically just a
Yeah. That's
wash.
pretty good.
Um, but it made me think that more series that are this big and like bold, let's say Game of Thrones, right? If they showed their last episode in the movie theaters, would have been cool.
People people would have gone. Yeah.
People would have gone. And it was just exciting because everybody's got all the build up. The movie theaters are packed. Our theater here in El Segundo was completely sold out. They had
Damn.
they closed the theater down at 5 o'clock, and then they showed and every single theater every 15 minutes was
Wow.
another show. Every single one was sold out.
Jesus Christ. Now,
So
question:
yeah.
How? What does $20 in concessions actually get you these days? A popcorn, like a popcorn and a soda.
Pretty much. A popcorn, a candy, and a soda.
Oh, okay, so the Holy Trinity.
Yeah, you know. So yeah, I mean it was worth it for sure.
Yeah,
But I just think that more shows that are this big and that have gone on forever and that they're the series finales are that anticipated, they should put them all in the theater
yeah.
because
Why
it helps
not?
the theaters out. It helps the businesses out.
Yeah,
And these are streaming services too. Like Netflix is a streaming service. So for them to do that to help out theaters, I think is really good for
yeah,
everybody, you know,
yeah,
which
yeah.
is cool. I did see Avatar.
I mean, I forgot that's even a fucking thing. It's so long between each film. I've only ever saw the first one, and I loved it, but I'm not going to see the other ones now because I'd have to go back and watch the first one again to remember what the fuck happened, and I've not got 12 hours.
All you need to do is see one and you've seen them all. It's the same story over and over again, just a different kind of scenario. But the only thing longer than the time between each movie is the actual movie. 3.5 hours, Jedi. Three and a
Yeah,
half
I
hours.
ain't
Okay.
got time for that.
No, nobody has time for that except for me.
Yeah.
And I went and saw it in 3D on the biggest screen possible. And, it was what it was. I mean, if you don't see it on a big screen, don't bother. It's not,
Uh,
there's no point.
I've seen something else.
Okay.
I watched it on a plane on the way back from San Antonio.
Okay.
I watched I watched the latest Jurassic Park with Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, nice.
Oh God, it was fucking horrible.
I thought the same thing.
Oh, it was brutal. Just pointless. It was so bad. So bad. And
Yeah.
she's awful. I don't think I haven't seen her in anything since she starred in that one with Bill Murray.
Yeah.
But whatever it is, something China or Japan or what was it called? I can't even remember. But that
Yeah.
was
I
that
can't
was
remember.
that
Yeah.
was a cute movie. But she's as wooden as a fucking as my the fence in my backyard. She
No,
is terrible. My God.
she's just, she's just the same thing every time now.
And even like that big hybrid dinosaur, it was like a fucking alien.
I
The
know.
big
Well,
one at
it
the end.
looked
It
just
was
like the alien in Aliens.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was stupid.
No, it was dumb. It was another cash grab.
Yeah, and I love the original, the original Jurassic Park and a few of the ones afterwards. Even the ones with Chris Pratt, I don't mind. But this was just fucking dog shit.
Well, and full on predictable too. Like you just
Oh yeah,
knew every single scene that was going
yeah,
to happen.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a shame to see that franchise just turn to shit.
Well, I mean, how far has it gone? I mean, that's
Yeah,
that's what they're going to do. But what was funny
yeah,
was, now that you mentioned that was Scarlett Johansson last year was the highest paid, or sorry, the highest grossing actor in Hollywood as far as the whole,
that's
she was a part
crazy.
of and now Zoe Saldana has taken her over because of the
Mm,
Avatar movies,
yeah,
you know? Um,
wow.
and these people they're not the highest paid, but they're the highest grossing, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
Uh, yeah, so that was interesting. But there was a lot of trailers before Avatar, which I got excited about, which was Supergirl, the
oh yeah, with Millie Alcock.
Millie Alcock, the next big thing that we're talking about,
Yeah,
it hasn't happened yet, but it's coming.
yeah.
She is the next Sydney Sweeney. And I made a note here that Jason Momoa is in that new Supergirl, and he plays a hero called Lobo, which I've never really even heard of. But, you know, Momoa played Aquaman
He did.
in the DC universe, and now he's playing Lobo in the same universe. So, it's one thing if you're going here, and there's a big thing about Sebastian Stan right now becoming part of the DC universe after he's been in Marvel. And, we obviously had Ben Affleck, who was Batman and Daredevil and stuff like that. And you could jump from universe to universe. But,
Yeah.
there used to be rules in Hollywood, There used to be certain kinds of rules, and there's comic book rules and shit like that. But in the same universe, playing different characters in the same fucking thing, I'm fucking against it. And Momoa is not a fucking good actor. I'm sorry. You know,
No, he's not.
I don't know if you saw that fucking Hawaiian show that he was doing. Great shot, wonderful cast crew, did their best, fucking whatever. It was a
Oh, is that
great
the one where he
show.
was blind?
No, it's one where it's about Hawaii, how Hawaii became, the Hawaiian Islands, and
Right.
the time when the white man started coming to the Hawaiian Islands and how it turned into what it is. Great story, but Momoa is just fucking annoying, constantly. So I'm on Momoa overload right now, and he's breaking all the rules of. I mean, you comic book people back me up here. He's breaking the rules. You can't be Aquaman and Lobo.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, even though I don't know who
Yeah.
Lobo is.
So no
Um,
Mo Momoa.
no, yeah, no Mo Lobo Momo, fuck, whatever. But there's one thing, I'm gonna end with this one. Sorry. I'm watching Pluribus. Great show. I think you would love it. Um, the New York Times did a best movies list, and Gladiator wasn't even a part of it. Or no,
Oh,
Gladiator was number three, number 93 on it. They didn't have Black Hawk Down on it,
that's a good movie.
and they didn't have Avengers on it, but they had Black Panther on it. So fuck you, New York Times, and your 21 best movies of all time. But anyway, I'm watching Fallout. It's a video game turned into a show. You would hate it. Trust me.
Yeah, I
You
know.
would never even fucking
The
want to be a part of it.
the reporter I'm with was telling me about it earlier, and I'm like, I just went nerd.
No, yeah, it's the
Yeah,
nerdiest thing ever, and you
yeah,
don't even try. But there is in the latest episode I just watched. There's a big build up where this girl comes in and she's found this new tribe of, because it's a post-apocalyptic kind of shit and everybody's got their own tribes and all this stuff. And they come across these guys and they're like Roman Empire fucking like posers or whatever. And the guy she comes across and he's like there's the leader and then there's the guy that speaks for the leader, right? And
yeah.
he's got his back turned and she turns to him and he turns around and it's Macaulay fucking Culkin, dude.
Oh my,
When's the last time you saw Macaulay Culkin in something?
Home Alone.
Home Alone, right? My kids were like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "You know who that is, right?" And they're like, "Is that
Kevin.
Kevin from Home Alone?" I'm like, "Yeah." We kept watching it. This guy, dude, he cannot act anymore. I, I, I mean, not that he could when he was Kevin.
Yeah,
It was what it was. But I could not believe how bad of an actor this guy is. I've got the respect for him for being Kevin and being a part of that whole franchise,
yeah.
whatever. I understand why this guy has not got a part since then. It is so bad. I keep on rooting for him and wanting him to do something in this show. It's bad. It's really bad,
That's
dude.
funny.
But
That's
it, but
funny.
it, but it was a surprise, and that was the cool thing about it. But everything else is whatever. Um, but that's it. That's all I got. What do
Well,
you think?
that's good because we've only got a minute left.
Just enough time to say if we've offended anybody on this episode, we do apologize. Any last words, Jedi?
Happy New Year, guys. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Let's make it a good one, a prosperous,
Exactly.
a prosperous one.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
everybody start putting your bets in on how many miles and flights Jedi's going to get this year.
I'm going to take the under on.
Really? All right.
Yeah, that was fucking stupid.
Well, anyway, take care and be well, I guess.
Lates.